But yeah, so it's Monday today. I am seeing the gynecologist tomorrow on Tuesday. On Tuesday it's going to be the 3rd of July. So I called them last week Monday and I was only able to get an appointment for today, which is like a week later. Why is it so hard to find a gynecologist, people? Like, it is so hard. I have looked and looked and looked. And also the thing is with a gynecologist, you want a referral. You don't want to just pick a gynecologist from anywhere. You want someone, you know, you need to trust a gynecologist. Not just any gynecologist, but someone who might potentially be an obstetrician in case you need surgery, but also who does like pregnancies. You don't understand how many gynecologists I called and they're like, no, we don't do pregnancy. No, we don't do pregnancy. And then the ones that I already had on my radar, I mean, the one lady I called 2 weeks ago and they said the next appointment would be on the 23rd of July. So I would have had to wait over 4 weeks to see her. And then the other gynecologist was, actually they said that the 2nd of July, but they were only opening again on the 2nd of July, which means I would have had to make the appointment today to probably see them next week or something. So yeah, it's been really, really, really difficult finding a gynae. Thank you, Ola, for sharing yours. And then I am extremely, extremely, extremely anxious. I cannot tell you just how anxious I am because I don't feel pregnant anymore, you guys. Like, so the thing is, this past week I have had all my period symptoms. So let's go. Some of them are the same as pregnancy period symptoms, but they just feel different. So symptoms like bloating are pregnancy symptoms. Slight cramping can be a pregnancy symptom. But the bloating feels different. The cramping feels different. Remember the last time I was telling you about pregnancy cramping being like this, and this was like more like that, you know, like period cramping. And it just feels different. I have had that irrational anger that you have just before your period, increased appetite. Again, one could say that it's a pregnancy hunger, but it's like, it's, you know, when, like, it's just different. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, the cramps are different. My breasts are different. They're sore and tender, but it's a different kind of tender. I just don't feel pregnant anymore. And I don't know if it's just me sort of preparing myself in case the doctor says something, you know, the doctor says you've had a miscarriage again, and I'm just like trying not to bond with the baby and just sort of like hope for the best but plan for the worst, you know, kind of situation. So I really don't know. Like, I'm super anxious. I feel, yeah, I'm probably just preparing myself for like a worst case scenario. So I don't know, like, we'll see tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, you guys, like, I hope, you know what I want the doctor to say. I want the doctor to say, baby girl, you're gonna have you a girl. I mean, yeah. Not even that you're gonna have you a girl, but like rather that, you know, your baby's fine. And but yeah, like, my gut tells me otherwise. And I don't know, like, I don't know how to react to this. I don't know, like, it's just been like really difficult trying not to get too attached because you don't know how you're going to handle the news. Trying not to at the same time not be attached because, like, I mean, I went and I got like vitamins and your body, you start like planning. You can't help but think of the future, you know, and you can't help but think of like possibly a person, like this little person like growing inside of you, and you can't wait to like imagine it and all of those kinds of things. Like, you can't stop yourself from doing that. In fact, like, it happens, and then like as you're like having all of these imaginations, you sort of have to say, hey, hold on, pull it back, don't get too excited, you know, hold it together, don't get too involved, don't get too in love, because you don't know what it's going to end up like, you know. And I know people are like, oh no, but I mean, like right now I'm probably around like 6 weeks pregnant or just after 6 weeks pregnant. So a lot of people will be like, but you just found out you're pregnant, and how can you already be so attached and things like that. But even me, who's trying not to be attached, is attached. So can you imagine somebody who is trying to be attached and loses a baby on top of that? Is like, but I don't even think like those emotions are different. Loss is loss, and when you feel that loss, like it just, you know, there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, like I mean, I've already imagined it all, like, you know, telling my mom what it would be like even like the idea of breastfeeding. Like, have you ever sat down and imagined what breastfeeding would be like feeling the milk go through your boob? And I've done like a lot of like research on breastfeeding and things like that. I know it's going to be painful, chances are, because a lot of women have said that I've interviewed have said that breastfeeding is really, really painful. I mean, I've had women say they'd rather go through labor than go through breastfeeding, you know, and those kinds of things. But then like you get to the point where it's not so anymore, and you just feel like the milk coming out of you and bonding with this little person, and, you know, just life continuing and like having this little person in your life. I mean, it's so amazing. Like, how do you stop yourself from thinking about that? That's the whole point of life. Like, life, seeing life come to life. You know, I'm not saying everyone wants to be a parent and that kind of thing, but when you're experiencing it and when you're going through it and it's something that you want, it becomes like the center of your life. You know what I mean? Like, you can't help but make it just the center of your life. When it happens, it happens. It's a big thing. It's a big shift in your life. Even if you didn't want a baby, the minute you find out you're pregnant, like, it's so big, you can't help but not have it feel like, wow. You know, whatever decision as women make, whether they decide to have the kids or not, it's not something where you're like, oh, I'm pregnant, and then you go like, I don't know, Snapchatting or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's that thing that stops you in your tracks and you're like, stop, collaborate and listen. Ice is back with a brand new invention. Yeah, I sort of need to explain myself and why I was so like upset yesterday. And like, so basically this week is supposed to be, so last month I missed my first period, and this week is when I would have gotten my period for the month of July. And particularly today was the day that my period would have started. And in all my previous miscarriages, I've always missed the first period, but when the second period was going to come, I've had the period then, which is why I've been so hectic about this doctor's visit and like making up period symptoms in my mind and all sorts of things. So that's why I'm feeling a bit like so anxious and stuff. I couldn't sleep last night. I was like awake until, and I kept on waking up throughout the night. It's just been a mess. Anyway, it's 12:30 now. I'm ready. I'm seeing the doctor this afternoon. I'm gonna leave here at around 2:30. My doctor's appointment is between 4 and 6. But what I need to go do now is I'm taking this blanket to the laundromat because my sister doesn't like using hot water bottles, and I just got new bedding, so I want to wash this before we use it again tonight. And my sister's coming tonight. Yeah, my sister's coming tonight, so I want to make sure that the blanket is clean so that we can put it on the bed for her. I've got another one, but I think this one's much nicer and a lot warmer. And then yeah, then I should be ready for the doctors afterwards. And then, oh, look at me, I poked my skin. I need to go back to my Retin-A. Since I've stopped using it, like I've had a few breakouts here and there and more scars. But anyway, I did stop using the Retin-A. When I took in my Retin-A video, I told you guys that I've stopped using it mainly, well, I stopped mainly because of the pregnancy, because it hasn't really been confirmed as yet as to whether you can use retinoids during pregnancy or not. There's not enough study information on it to know whether it's good for the baby or not. So I just stopped to be on the safe side. And and also because it is winter, and yeah, my skin, actually all that dryness was not good for my skin, especially now during winter. So I'm back on the Eucerin, and which I'm loving and not loving. But my skin overall is like looking and feeling really great because I've got like fresh skin. So the retin-A left me with like good skin, so I'm quite happy with life. And then what else? That's about it anyway. So I will update you after the doctor's visit. I've taken all the vitamins that I bought when I found out I was pregnant. I'm taking this omega-3 supplement, and it's like an oil capsule, right? And so you drink it, and then like after like 20 minutes you start burping oil. It's so disgusting. It is the most disgusting thing ever. But apparently omega-3 is really good for the baby. Spinal defibrilla. I don't know what. Anyway, I need to do this so that I can be back from the laundromat by 2:30, because the boyfriend's gonna come pick me up. We'll go to the doctor's. We'll probably have lunch and then go to the doctor's. And then okay, so before this video continues, there will be no crying in this video. Okay, so I think you last see me on Tuesday afternoon, I think, or Monday, the day before I go to the doctor, or on Tuesday. So we'll call this one Dr. A. So I went on Tuesday evening, I went to the doctor, and when we got to the doctor's office, the doctor said he doesn't see a heartbeat. He should be able to see a heartbeat by now, and that I should come back next week Tuesday. It's Friday today, by the way. So if you're confused or anything, the thing is that doctors can't really tell you the exact day of conception. So what they do is they calculate it depending on your last period. So they'll ask you, when was the first day of your last period? But if that date is wrong, then you know it could be wrong. So he wasn't very comfortable, like he didn't come out outright and say, look, this fetus, or I don't know what, gestational sac, gestational yolk sac, there's so much terminology. I'm going to call it a fetus or a baby. I know it's probably, many of you will come and tell me that at this age it's not a fetus, it's what, but I'm a layman. I don't know the terms. I know what it was to me, so that's how I'm going to explain it. So he kind of was like, look, come back next week, let's see, maybe the calculations are wrong, but by this time, because of the dates that I've given him, there should actually be a heartbeat already. And then he showed me everything. He also said that I had fibroids, and he basically said, come back next week Tuesday. And what he wanted to do was, he wanted to also, when I come back the following Tuesday, it still comes this Tuesday coming, when I come back the following Tuesday, if the baby's growing, then great. But if the baby actually has not, what do they call it, a non-viable pregnancy, then he wants to do a swab to see if maybe there was a chromosome issue on top of the fibroids. But he couldn't conclusively say anything. So then I sort of went straight into miscarrying this baby, and that was it. Like, I just went into the worst and just was like, okay, it's happening. Anyway, so my boyfriend on Wednesday spent the whole of Wednesday morning like he found a doctor for a second opinion, and we went for a second opinion on Thursday, and that doctor at the second opinion was like, look, there should be a heartbeat. This is Dr. B now. There should be a heartbeat. There's no heartbeat. This pregnancy is not going to go anywhere. it's most likely the fibroids. So yeah, so both doctors basically, you know, one more sort of politically correct, the other one a lot more direct, was like, look, this is not going to happen, this pregnancy is not going to happen. Dr. B prescribed me some pills to take, and basically what they do is they induce the miscarriage, they induce labor, so there'll be cramping and like the fetus will come out, because basically he was saying that it could take, and I mean I've experienced this from my previous miscarriage, it can take anything from 1 day for your body to expel the fetus to 2 weeks to God knows how long. So you can't really, and these pills are basically just, you can time it, you can plan around it, you can predict it. So he's given me a prescription. I'm actually not sure about whether I want to take the prescription or not. Like there's always a part of you that's like, what if? And here I am like aborting the baby, even though it's not an abortion because it's been confirmed. So yeah, that's where we are now. So I'm not sure. So the other thing was, I wasn't sure if I want to maybe take the pills closer to the revisit to Dr. A, so that when he does the swab, I'm actually in the process of expelling the fetus and he can grab a piece of the clot, or if it's better that I go there after I've expelled the fetus or before. So I don't know what to do with that situation. Maybe I should call and find out like which would be the best to get the best results from the swab, because basically what both doctors have said is there's 3 reasons why I could be miscarrying. One could be a chromosome issue, where just like chromosomes are not matching between me and the dad, or could be old eggs, or it could be the fibroids. Dr. A is more interested in chromosome. Dr. B is like fibroids, let's go surgery, take them out and get on with baby making, because he's also like, look, you're getting older, your eggs are getting older, you can't really be delaying this so much, especially since you already have a history. So that's where I am right now. I'm not really sure about the fibroid issue. Like, I'm scared, you guys. Anyways, I'm not sure about the fibroid issue, but I'd like to check out the chromosomes and see if maybe that was that, or if there's anything wrong in sort of like the sac. I don't know if I'm making sense. Yeah, so yeah, you've got 2 different doctors, 2 very different approaches. One doctor is very much like treating me very fragilely and very like, oh, let's see, you know, doesn't want to be like, look, you lost the baby, life happens, crap happens, let's move on. And the other one is just like A, B, C, and D, let's sort it out, let's move on. And the thing is, I mean, I appreciate both approaches, because with my second miscarriage, I remember I went to a gynae and he was so like Dr. B now. He was like, look, baby gone, no, 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 no. And I remember being so upset with him and going actually and finding a different gynecologist who was a lot more softer. And whereas this time, maybe because I was prepared for it, or I don't know, I found Dr. A's approach a little bit like too soft. But I mean, that could be a variety of things. Like, it could be the patients that you deal with. Like, I mean, dealing with pregnant women, it's very like, they're very emotional. It's supposed to be a really happy time, so you should be like thinking for them emotionally. But it also could be like a cultural difference, because I think the doctors are very different. It could be so many things. So I think that like doctor's bedside manner really is, you can't really determine as a patient, even yourself, what kind of bedside manner you will want in that situation, because I've required 2 different bedside manners for the same issue at different times of my life. So I can't really say one is better than the other. It just, sometimes they get it right and sometimes they get it wrong. It doesn't mean that they are bad people or whatever. I'm blabbing. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with the pill situation, and also how I'm going to take it, whether I'm going to take it closer to the revisit to Dr. B or not, to Dr. A or not. Dr. B also said I should come back next week, Wednesday. if I've taken the pills, just to make sure that everything is cleaned out properly, and you know, like there's nothing left behind, because then if there is, they might have to go in and do a clean of the womb and whatever. So yeah, I don't know if there's going to be any more updates on this moment in my life. I'm just going to post these videos. I don't know if I'll be responding to any comments. There's also a lot of other stuff happening in my other life, not in my other life, in my current life, in other areas of my life, like work-wise and things like that. So I think I'm just like moving my mind to focus on that right now. Yeah, like for me, I know, like for instance, my first 2 miscarriages, I never told anyone about them. I mean, I told like my closest friends, like I told maybe 3 people. And for some reason with this one, I just felt the need to like speak out about it. Not just even this pregnancy, but like all my other pregnancies, like they weighed heavily on me. They felt like secrets, you know? And they weren't secrets, and they were this thing that I needed to like divulge to people, like, oh, by the way, I had a miscarriage. And it became like this like load that I don't think actually I should be responsible for carrying. It shouldn't be a load to begin with, but I just found it like, yeah, so I'm tired of carrying that load. But I also know that I'm not the only woman going through this. Relatively healthy, you know, just spontaneous miscarriages that you can't really explain. Like, I'm not the only woman going through this, and it's just to say, like, you're not alone, you know, like, and you will get through it, and you do survive it, and you are stronger than you think that you are, and it's gonna be okay, you know, it's gonna be okay. So it's just that, you know. And I found, like, I don't know, like I used to feel so like, and also just like people, so when are you having kids? No. Oh, by now you should have kids. So old. No. Like, it's so freaking upsetting. You know, like people don't know what's going on in your life, but they're so quick to make judgments about your life and what it is you're doing right and what it is you're doing wrong. But that's not actually the issue. I don't mind people because they don't know what's going on in my life, so I don't mind that. But I suppose now I'm feeling very angry about it because I'm just really angry about everything right now. So yeah, I guess, yeah, it was just like, it just always felt like they were like secrets, and I don't want my babies to be secrets. Like they were and they are loved. Each I remember, you know, and they're not this thing that, they're not a secret in my life. They are a part of my life. They are part of who I am right now. They are, yeah, you know, they make me who I am, and I don't want it to be this thing that I need to like tell to people, you know. It is what it is. It's like, oh, she's female, or actually no, we shouldn't take femaleness for granted, but like, oh, she's got black hair, or she's got 5 fingers or brown eyes or whatever, you know. So yeah, I don't know, I'm blabbing. There's many reasons why I actually have made these videos. I just can't in my mind right now coherently try and sort through my feelings and tell you properly why. But for me it was very important to speak about this. Yeah, so that's it. I'm gonna put up the videos, I'm not going into anything else, and you will probably see me discussing something else completely. And yeah, like just the rest of my life, which hasn't stopped, by the way. So yeah, I will see you gupsters in the next video. I wish you a lovely day. I don't know when this is gonna come up, so enjoy the rest of your week or the rest of your weekend or whatever it is that You're going to be seeing this on